Good to talk to you today.
You too.
So, did you hear about the Pew research study that
I
women?
did. I've been trying to find it.
Well, basically, the findings are that women are either the sole or primary providers for 40% of the households. That has been fascinating news.
Right. It's not surprising either.
Yeah, and these breadwinning moms are juggling so much. So
Right.
I've really found that when it comes down to it, technology has been the savior in helping me do it all. And I use Office 365 Home Premium.
Right. I was just looking at the website, looking at the OneNote.
Yeah, OneNote is a great digital notebook, and I use OneNote as my second brain.
I do second brain.
Yeah, really. When it comes to menus for my family and what meals we're having during the week, shopping lists. My
Right.
husband has the app, and so he brings it up on his phone, and he can go shopping. So OneNote is a great tool for digital notebooks, and that's a great way to save time as a busy mom.
But it talks about being used in a cloud. I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty intimidated by the use of a cloud, and I haven't even really looked at it. I don't.
Yeah. I know it's a little overwhelming, but just think about it as the first step is just having access to your documents online. And I use SkyDrive, so all my documents are stored on SkyDrive, so no matter where I am, I can access them. So it's just a matter of getting used to storing the documents for me on SkyDrive, and once I remember to do that, now I just have access to all my documents. And with Office 365
From all of your devices?
From all of your devices. And with Office 365 Home Premium, you also have web apps. So even if the person that you're sharing a document with doesn't have Office, they can access it through a browser. So that's pretty cool. So if you think of the cloud as just a way to store your information and have access to it no matter what device you're at.
That's great. But, not everybody is wired like you. How do they get started? I mean, are there gadgets or apps that are easy enough for newbies to get started with?
Well, I think Office 365 Home Premium is really easy to get started. And the way I suggest to any family looking into is look, and especially with my book, I talk about look at the process of your life. What's your daily process and how can technology help you? I suggest people don't overdo it, but just put the technology, where you need it. And for example, using OneNote, as I said, for the family menu, that's just a great tool. I have my the family chore chart on Excel. That's very helpful.
I need one of those.
Yeah.
But everything, technology, it changes so much, and it can get expensive. I mean, how do you know what you really need? I mean, do you really need the upgrade?
Well, the cool thing about it is for $99.99, you can install it in 5 devices in your family, and that's $99 for a 1 year subscription. And if you think about it, it's up to 5 devices, so your whole family can use it, and each device can have multiple accounts. So
for the whole year,
for the whole
5
year,
devices, $99. That's a pretty good deal.
$99.99. Yeah, it's a great deal, and it just makes it easy because everyone in the family has access to what you need. And also Outlook, the good old family calendar. If you're talking about people that might be a little overwhelmed with technology, just setting up an online calendar is a great step because you can see an immediate response. I have my family schedule color-coded on Outlook, and it's really pretty easy. All you do is you set up appointments, and then you can even invite people to the different events. For example, I invite
from your calendar?
From the calendar. You have attendees in Outlook, and my husband doesn't even need to pay attention. I invite him to where he needs to be. If he needs to be at soccer practice or if he needs to be at school event, it just pops up on his calendar.
And he knows where he's supposed to be and when.
Right. And I'm also teaching my 14-year-old about the importance of creating a calendar. He's getting into high school, so he's using Outlook too.
Well, I have a senior in high school this year, and maybe he needs it. I don't see it. I'm looking online as we talk. I really would like to dabble a little bit in some video editing, but I'm really intimidated by it. Does the Office 365 have a video program?
Well, in basically office.com is where you go to find out information.
Right.
And, you can embed video in OneNote, which is really cool. But if you're talking about Windows has Movie Maker, so it's a great tool. If you have Windows, you can try, Movie Maker, and that's a great tool for editing videos. But again, if you want to embed videos, let's say you're planning something, let's a family trip, and there's a video that shows information about the area you're visiting, you can embed that video in OneNote.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was asking. I just didn't know the language. And that's also in OneNote.
Right.
Great. Right. I have a special needs child, and she's got some learning difficulties. She loves the computer. She can do some basic navigation and follow prompts. Is there anything within these programs that might help me be a better support for her?
Well, the cool thing about OneNote is that depending on the different ages, it has a lot of tools. For example, one of my sons has a lot of issues with writing, and there's an equation editor in OneNote that I find really cool because he can kind of scribble a fraction down and it converts back to type. So after he does his homework, I can convert it to type and we print it out, and he feels really proud. So little things like that.
And that's exactly what I'm kind of looking at, something that I can help her use that'll make her work more clear. So we keep talking about technology and incorporating our kids in it, but what about internet safety?
Yeah, that's an important topic, and I say to parents that it's all about communication.
Right.
First of all, it's parents taking the time to educate themselves on the different websites and the parental controls, because they change by the moment. So I say, unfortunately, don't you feel like you just need to?
Yes, it's maddening sometimes. I feel like we have that technology talk all of the time. I'd just like to have better filters.
Well, you can set up filters and you can set up parental controls. Windows has great parental controls. But I think at the end, it's really the communication. It's setting up regular times to talk about technology and kind of empathizing. With my 14-year-old, I say, you know what, I know that you really are curious and you want to look at different sites, but here's how we can keep you safe. And so after a while, it starts to set in.
Right. Well, I'm really excited about the Office 365, and I will probably install it. But, so I'm a little technology challenged. So in getting started, any, in general, project management type techniques, tips, tricks to help me manage my time?
Well, I think it's really the Outlook. Using Outlook is a great tool for time management and just putting everything on there. And even, how about time for yourself? Do you ever plan for your own personal time? Whatever you like to do?
Right. It's just finding the time, navigating and using technology to get started it's time consuming.
Right. Well, installing Office 365 Home Premium is pretty easy, and just take it a step at a time and spend a little time getting to know the different, the different programs, and things are really easy to use, like Microsoft Word. I used Word to write my book, and the cool thing about it is my editor can make comments in Word, and then I can reply to them, and so that was a really helpful tool.
To go back and forth. I actually think that I used that.
Yeah, and Office.com has a lot of tips and the features. And Rachel Bondi and Deanna Singleton are on the Office team, and they also write for the Office blog, and they really understand what it's like for moms to manage priorities. Right. So I would definitely say check out the Office blog and Office.com.
Great. I guess I know how I'm spending my afternoon. Okay, I have one last question, and I will let you get back to your day. In your book, which I'm reading, thank you very much, it's very helpful, you talk about, basic emergency planning. So I live in Tornado Alley, and we do have a basic emergency plan, but I haven't quite figured out how to fit my technology into that plan, aside from keeping everything charged. Is there apps or...
God, that's such a great topic, and I wish we had more time to talk about it, because I think that people in Tornado Alley are the most amazing planners, and I have so much respect for them. But it's just checking with your local resources. That's the most important thing, because they have all the information there in regards to planning. So, well, good. Well, thank you so much. It was great to talk to you.
Sure, great to get to talk to you, and yeah, you've given me some great insight. I'm excited to get started.
Well, great to talk to you today. Have a good one.
You too.